You are for it.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Nigeria. Good evening, Africa. Good evening. My name is Butterfly. This is Next Model Africa. We are here once again with a wonderful show for you. Each contestant have been grouped into 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 to showcase a talk show. I know you're going to enjoy it because I'm here to watch it too, just like you. Now, we are going to welcome the first group, number 1. Hope you enjoy it.
Hello Nigeria. Hello Africa.
Hello. How many groups are there? 4. So 5 should be in one group.
One person's on the Karen.
So she's in the part.
She said she would be.
Alright.
Hello Nigeria. Hello Africa. And welcome to the Nsma reality TV talk show. I'm Jessica, a contestant on Next Model Africa reality TV show, and your host for tonight. Tonight, our topic is the Nsma protest. With me here is my fellow contestant and co-host, Debbie.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Jason. With us is our fellow contestants and our guest, Michi Raymond.
I am Honey.
So, about Nsma. That was a huge scene, a huge problem in Nigeria. So we'll be going straight to Miss Michi Raymond. What do you think led to the nationwide Nsma protest, which started on the 8th of October 2020?
Well, personally, for me, I feel like Nsma's process did not just happen in a day. We were seeing constant harassment from police to the youths. It got to a point where people could not freely move about and express themselves, especially the youths. Like, if they see someone undressed, they automatically tag them like a Yahoo boy. And even the ladies too were not even left out of it. Like, you can't even walk on the street with your clothes and everything. You can be automatically tagged as an ashawo or even the girlfriends to this Yahoo boys. Like, it was really crazy. So I feel like all those repetitive, like they were reoccurring situations led to the Nsma.
Like the police brutality.
Yes, police brutality. You know, even iPhones, we couldn't even walk freely with our phones. Phones were made to make our lives easier and better. So it was really terrible.
So Miss Annie, what do you have to say about this?
For me, a lot of youth were brutalized by the police, and due to that, a lot of youth can't take the blame. The process come up when after a video was released online by some students. In the video, a policeman arrested 2 one was killed at an hotel. And it happened like that, and the youth can't take it anymore, so they have to come out to have to say something about it. So that was one late.
That was really great.
I think we can also all say we have had either one personal experience with them or another, or maybe someone we know or love has had one experience with them or another. Because I personally can say that I had a friend who was traveling to Calabar, and on their way they just got stopped by policemen. He and his friends, he had dreads on. His friends were all, they didn't even have dreads on. And next thing they said they were Yahoo boys because he had iPhones and he had AirPods in their ears, and just arrested them, and they had to pay about 100,000 for them to just be released. I mean, that's so ridiculous. But that's the country we live in. It's terrible.
I think I've had such experience traveling from Calabar down to the hotel. So,
Really terrible.
even as a lady,
Yeah.
it was embarrassing.
I believe we can also say that there were so many reactions towards this particular protest. Some were good, some were bad. People in the country, outside the country, old and young. What would you say? What do you think about their own opinions, and what was your reaction towards the protest?
Yeah, for me, I feel a lot of people see situation as differently. So a lot of people condemn the protest. They were like, it's wrong for the youth to come out to come say something about what's happening in the country. And when you check that, it's actually coming from the father, the mother, the old elderly citizens of the country. So I feel like that's not cool enough, and that's really, really wrong for them to actually condemn the protest, because a lot of them are out there to say something about what's happening in the country, and that's it. It's really not for them to do that.
Training? Okay, personally, I feel like everyone is entitled to their own opinion. So we saw a lot of negative and also positive opinions too. But I personally think that it was a good move. Like, it was a good move for people to speak up. And if they didn't speak up, the matter would have gone on and on and on for God knows how long. So opinions definitely were needed too.
True. I think there was a friend of mine whose father was condemning the protest. I was like, anybody that went there and got shot, did it at their own race and all of that, and they were stupid for going on. And he didn't even know his own daughter went for the protest. And I was wondering, if his own daughter had been killed, what would he have been saying? The same thing, or would he have been fighting against the government?
I think that's what actually brought us to this point where we are.
Yes,
I think so.
yes.
Because they've been keeping quiet for too long.
Too long.
So, were you at the venue, or you were an online protester? And if you were, what do you think about those that were at the venue?
To be honest with you, I was a online protester.
Yeah.
Twitter again.
Twitter,
Instagram.
Facebook, the WhatsApp, and all. I was an online protester. All the protesters that went out there to do that, I feel they are heroes, because they went out there to like put their lives on the line for the country. That was really, really.
They didn't actually know they were going to die.
For real.
Yes.
That's really sad. But I think they are heroes.
So I was an online protester, and I was also following the pages of those who were present at the protest ground. I was following back to back to back. Because as I'm dropping my own, I'm also going to see what's next, what's the new thing that's okay.
I think voting should be done online now. Since you are
More
online.
online.
Maybe
Maybe.
Mm.
They'll just kill us. They'll just hide everything.
well, I really feel like those people who went out there were so bold and courageous, especially considering the fact, or considering the country we live in. Nigeria is no longer a safe place. Nobody is safe anymore. You can go out today and you don't even know whether or not you're going to make it back to your house, like intact. So the people who went out there for the protest were really very courageous, and I applaud them for that.
That's nice. So, of what importance do you think that the protest was? Do you think there was a point to the protest? And do you think the goal was really achieved? or do you think it was just pointless?
No, to be honest with you, I thought it's actually kind of bringing out some people. But looking at years back, those can't like come out there to say how they really feel about what's actually happening in the country. Because it's either they get arrested and all that. That's really vexing because it's a good outcome. But I would say it's not really one because they actually took off the SARS and they brought in SWAT. It's
So
kind
it's
of
more like a switch of
Yes.
meanings.
yeah. So
Yes.
it's not really. It's kind of that's
I think it's the whole problem of for our great grandparents, our grandparents, and our parents not being able to actually voice out against the government that brought us to the point where they had to actually do the protest, and still they were the ones going against us and still insulting us. Ms. Raymond, do you have anything?
Okay, I would just say that we have not been able to achieve our goal. I'm not even going to lie to anybody right now. We still have a long way to go. We are all learning, from our past mistakes and everything. We still have a long way to go. But I believe, I have faith in Nigeria. I have faith in the youth. I have faith in the justice system and the police department as well. So I think with time we'll really, 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 get to the.
This has been like a 50-50 chance.
Yes.
And that's like an advantage and
Yes.
so it's just like a 50-50
Just
thing.
keep pushing.
So would you tag the NSAS protest a campaign of genocide?
yeah. Obviously it was because it was a peaceful protest.
Listen to me, people are not murmuring. Talk out. Let people hear. Talk out. Murmuring.
Obviously it was a peaceful protest.
Obviously, it was a peaceful. You see, when a talk show like this, out. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yes, sir.
All of you. She's the only person talking out.
Obviously it was a peaceful protest. The citizens were out there to say something about how they feel. Like I said, freedom of expression, So the government actually took it the other way around, and they were armed police forces and army. They went out there to like do something, nothing to write home about.
So you really think it was
it was
actually
because,
government?
yeah, there was some beautiful things, a lot of ambitions were put on hold, and that's really sad.
So Ms. Green, what do you think?
Honestly, I think that at first nobody expected the outcome of what happened that day. But yes, I would really term it a genocide campaign because a lot of people lost their lives. Some were injured in the process. So, yeah.
So you think that was genocide?
Yes.
So it was by the government?
Yes. They had it.
You're very sure?
Very sure.
Okay. Get the views.
Do you think the Nigerian government should be held accountable? Because let's be honest, so many lives were lost that day that we still do not know how many, to be very honest. So do you think the Nigerian government should be held accountable for all the lives that were lost?
Yeah,
Yes, I do actually think because the government is supposed to have the interest of the people at heart, the safety of the people at heart. So, whereby your people are not safe, then what are you trying to do, or which people are you going to do? If everybody starts going dead and dropping dead, or if they start getting injuries and everything. So the government is supposed to make the country a peaceful place for each and every one of us to coexist in it.
Adding to that, for the fact that the protest was actually peaceful, I think there should be no need for violence by government. There's no need for that because we lost lots of youth, lots of promising futures, promising youth.
And considering the fact that they were all just sitting peacefully, singing the national anthem and holding the Nigerian flag. That was the height of it for me, if I'm going to be very
There was
honest.
no respect.
There was no respect whatsoever, and it's really sad, if I'm going to be honest. But here we are.
That's sad.
Very sad.
So what do you think the youth should do next? What do you think? Should they continue with the protest or stay back home, go with their businesses and every other thing they have to do?
I feel they just should just continue to work to put the best at that, like just keep working with yourself. obviously our government, they are not really like doing something about the whole thing. After the whole protest and everything, there was not really a positive outcome. So I feel the youth should just improve themselves in whatever they believe they can do better. And believe, yeah, exactly.
They should come up more for
Yeah,
elections.
yeah, exactly, from the government. Like,
Electoral.
okay. So for the protests, I wouldn't say the yes or no. I just want the youth to do better.
But I think they came out for protest some days ago.
Yeah,
Yes.
So and then I watched some videos of people getting arrested and all those things. There's no improvement actually.
No, I
Oh,
mean,
let's be honest. I believe it's not just the youth that should do better. The government needs to do so much better on their own part too. Because if they were doing good, we would not be having these issues.
Exactly.
We need to make them do better. I'm not sure how, but it just needs to happen. To be honest. It's been a year now. Like my co-host just said, some people went to protest a few days ago as marking 1 year celebration of the whole thing. So it's been a year since the protest. Do you think anything has changed at all? Anything in the slightest?
for me, to be honest, nothing has changed. Nothing.
To an extent, I feel there's a little change. I don't get to see the police department. I don't get to see the forces trying to utilize people the way they used to before the protest.
Yes.
I think the level at which they utilize people
Has
has
reduced. Yes, that I can attest to. But it's still going on.
Yeah.
definitely it's a gradual process. With time, I think we get to.
Let's hope it only gets better and not worse. Especially
I feel like you said, we recently had it like a few days back. So from what I saw online, we really have a long way to go. There are some areas where I still saw, I was seeing the policemen on standby with their guns and stuff like that, which this also happened in the previous protest. So you can see these people are they're just there, they're just waiting for that opportunity to just,
Yeah, to do that.
There was rumors some days back that they brought back the SARS. The SARS.
I mean,
Yeah.
the SARS, for me, I feel like SARS never went away. They just transformed. Or rather,
literally a few days after the protest, they opened the Lekki toll gate again. And the business was running like nothing happened there. Like people didn't just die there. And it was more about making money than keeping the people in the country safe. So really, I'm not sure. It scares me sometimes when I think about it. Am I safe in this country? I honestly do not feel 100% safe. And I hope someday soon, hopefully, that changes. I really, really hope so.
I hope so too, because we really need to do better, especially for the next generation.
Yes.
Our country has to be safe enough for them to live in and achieve their dreams, ambitions, and goals.
And this didn't just happen at the toll gate. There are other states, other venues where this particular thing happened.
Yes. Yes, that's very true.
So we should try to reach out to other
Places too.
places.
Yes. So we'd like to thank Miss Michi Raymond and Miss Annie for joining us tonight on the show.
It's a pleasure to know.
Thank you viewers for watching us tonight, and we hope you join us next time. My name is Jessie, again, a contestant on Next Model Africa reality TV show, and your host tonight. And with me is my co-host once again, Miss Debbie.
Thank you.
Thank you
for
guys
staying
for
with us.
watching.
Bye.
Sit there. I didn't want you guys just to. I didn't want you guys just to listen. Before you started, I think you were asked to view to. Then, you only browse it, but you don't on TVC. You don't watch it. My best TV show, my best talk show. You see the ladies, there are about 5 of them. You see them arguing, even fighting, almost fighting amongst themselves. The boys arguing strongly. But so when you talk, you say, okay, it's true, it's true. You're like, no, that's not it. We're just killing. That was why the captain said, go browse your reviews. And see how they talk. It's not must that you might not agree what she said. She's talking from a point of view. All of you have different point of views. That's why they call it your views, how you view it. So you argue among yourself. Then advantage of protest, then the disadvantage of the protest. You did not say anything about the disadvantage of the protest. You only talked about the advantage. Because there are different disadvantages of protest. During protest, a lot of innocent citizens, no transportation, people suffered, trekking from miles to miles. When they said that, a lot of things happened. Hunger. No job was going on. You didn't say that. This is a disadvantage of the protest. You didn't talk on that. Then the killings are the targets. You didn't talk about someone with a national Nigerian flag and was shot. He brought out the Nigerian flag and was still shot at Elizabeth. No, you talked about the killing, just said killing, but you did not. There's this
About the Nigerian
flag.
okay, and they talked about it.
Yes.
Okay, did you talk about the military people who came and said they should drop? Did you talk about DJ? There's this DJ. Sweet. Did you call her name? That she was you didn't. You just scratched on the surface. My problem is that you just scratched on this. You didn't make. Now listen to me. You were supposed to present this yesterday, but we technically allowed it today. So see if you can make research on everything that happened. You talk about who told you that? Call anybody who is necessary. You talk about the government, the state government. Even if you don't want to call someone who the governor, but the representative of the state government came over there and said nothing happened. He came over there to make a speech of people through so that here. You talk about the celebrities who came out for it. You didn't talk about that. The case as two cases. You didn't even mention that. Then these are the scenarios, all the scenarios that happened there. You didn't talk about it. Then you talk about the consequences. The consequences right now of the economy. Though NSAS the consequences, the advantage, and so okay, I think he said it. Disadvantage of the protest. Okay? So all these things you understand were not really holistically made, and so let me just make a recap of your presentation over there. JC, the host, did not start off. Who is the host? Who is the host? Most of you are the hosts. What?
Yes.
Both of the hosts and both of them were invitees. Okay. Annie, you just don't have fun. You're dragging it back even when she's trying to bring it up, you're dragging it back. But anyway, all the same, I have my marks I'm giving you. First group, single group should start. Move out of the stage. You guys should learn to be detailed about the topic that is given to you. Every single scenario that you is that. Second group, group 2. Quiet behind.
I'm still your host, Multiply, and this is still Next Model Africa Reality TV show. That was a very interesting topic on group one, talking about Nsma. That's why the stars will just discriminate you by your hair and arrest you, take your phone and everything. It's really getting hot in here. But let's keep going. Let's invite this contestant number 2 to showcase their talk show.
Group number 2.
Group number 2. Show their talk show.
Group 2. What was the guy doing at the extreme? The guy should be on the. Who is hosting? Okay. What's that? Who is hosting? Yeah, even if two of you are hosting, it doesn't mean that you must just sit at the same place. Have you watched the views? You could just sit at the exit. It doesn't matter where you're sitting. What I know is that a guy amongst ladies must be a leader. Don't push him out of corner or anything. Okay, group 2.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's talk show. I'm your host. My name is African Beauty, a contestant on the Mexican Model Africa reality TV show. And today we'll be talking about the Nigeria's economy. Over to you, my co-host.
My name is Soso, one of the contestants of the next Super Model Africa reality TV show. Also your host, and we have here with us 3 amazing personalities to discuss on the topic Nigerian economy. So what's your name?
Hello, my name is Salindra. I'm one of the contestants on the next Super Model Africa reality TV show.
Hello, my name is Scotty. I'm one of the contestants on the next Super Model Africa reality TV show.
Hello everyone, my name is Mio. I'm a contestant on the next Super Model Africa reality TV show.
Miss Salindra, how are you doing? I'm fine. I heard you won an ambassadorial deal.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about it?
It was quite amazing. Like, I was so surprised. I didn't even know that I was going to win that ambassadorial deal. Seriously, yeah, but I'm so happy. Thank you very much.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Okay, over to you, Miss Mel. How was your day? I know how the previous traffic can be. How was your day? My day has been hectic, honestly. Spent 6 hours on the Lagos traffic, like on the island, from VI just to Lekki. Like, it's really, really outrageous. But I mean, it's a country we find ourselves in, so we just have to deal with it.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's the cutty. Looking like a gentleman.
As it should be.
How are you doing today?
I'm feeling good, I'm feeling fine. As you see, I'm all smiles. I have no problem getting here. And that's all that concerns me today. Thank you so much.
what do you guys think? There are a lot of problems affecting the Nigerian economy. What do you think are the problems that affect the Nigerian economy?
Okay. For me, I would say Nigerian economy is one of the largest economy in Africa. But one of our problems is that we're over-dependent on crude oil. Ever since the late 1960s to the early 1970s, ever since the oil boom in Nigeria in the 1970s, Nigeria has been over-dependent on crude oil, thereby making us a victim of a monolithic economy, and which is very bad for us because at that point we refuse to change, we refuse to evolve to change. You understand? We're just so dependent on the growth and everything on crude oil, and that's one thing that's affected Nigeria so badly. I think that's one of the problems Nigeria had, over-dependence on the crude oil.
Yeah, to add to what she said about the over-dependence on crude oil, I mean, for me, I feel like we should diversify because we are so and the funny story about this oil issue is that this same oil we have here, that we produce here, we don't refine it here. And that's also one of our biggest problems here in Nigeria. We take this same oil that we got from here, we take it outside the country to refine it. We get it. So that's also one thing that is affecting our economy, not just depending on oil, but also the fact that we can't even refine the oil we even produce in our country. You get that, right? Yeah, so we just need to learn to diversify because that oil and taking it out to refine is not just helping the economy at all.
Actually, I would like to concur with what Mrs. Mel said.
Okay.
Nigeria's economy is so bad and we are only dependent on the oil and gas sector, which is preposterous to me because we have other sectors like agriculture, we have technology that we invest in, and oil and gas. Oil and gas involves three major prospects. We have the mining, prospecting, and exploration. All these things, we do not have a major company in Nigeria. Apart from NNPC, we don't have a major company in Nigeria handling these issues. We're only dependent on OPEC, only dependent on other organizations outside Nigeria, which cost us more. When you bring in taxation is another problem. When you bring in taxation to oil and gas, one of the reasons why these taxes are not being allocated properly is because it is only on the oil and gas sector, making the fact that the big organizations that are coming out from outside Nigeria are the ones being collected taxes. Taxes are being paid 20% per each company. But the fact that it is an organization coming from outside Nigeria, they charge more, which is wrong. We should have organizations in Nigeria that are trying to bring out a better oil and gas sector. That's why I really congratulate Dangote on what he's doing, the refinery that he's building in the state. I'm really proud of that man. That man is doing a lot for Nigeria doing that.
Okay, talking about bringing other organizations out of the country into Nigeria, I think that's also one of the good options. But have you talked about insecurities in Nigeria? It's also affecting our economy. Do you understand? Imagine bringing the foreigners into our country and we have insecurities. Those organizations won't stay here because they are so scared of investing in a country that doesn't have a good security. Do you understand? So if we should work on our insecurity in the country, I think that also will also help us to have a good Nigerian economy. I think that should be set to the
Speaking of foreign investors, have you thought about fraud? There's one thing, this thing that goes on now, what's it called again? This viral thing. Let me point out how it is spoiling Nigeria's economy. You see now, we have, what's his name, Bosch Poppy, I think he's the celebrity of the world now. Yes. He has done very bad for Nigeria's economy, and not just Nigeria's economy, but Nigeria's reputation. How he has disgraced us. And he has pointed out the fact that we are now all African princes and princesses. All we know how to do is fraud. Investors are being chased away. The moment they hear Niger, they are on their way. They are on their way, which is wrong. Apart from that, we have corporate fraud too. Corporate fraud, we have different organizations, independent organizations, and corporate organizations engaging in these activities. Underneath, we had Access Bank in 2005. Access Bank did something like that in 2005 that they had to change their MD and things like that. Even UBA almost had the same issue. Corporate fraud needs to stop. And it's affecting the economy. It's wrong. It's chasing investors. It's chasing people that can even change the life of Nigeria. We've been struggling to change the life of Nigeria since 1960, and we're still on that issue up till now. And we're talking about 60 years of development. How many years does it take to develop a nation? Look at South Africa. South Africa could gain independence in 1989, I think. 1989. Why can't we compare South Africa to Nigeria? If we're talking about Africa, the biggest nation in Africa, is it South Africa?
It's not, but we can't
Nigeria.
Even in Nigeria, we don't produce anything. Even up to the toothpick we use, it's still made in China.
Yeah.
We import literally almost everything we use in this country. Even you spoke about taxation earlier on.
Yes.
How many companies or how many individuals in this country do you feel pay their tax? I don't think a lot of them do. It's majorly those well-known large companies that do pay their taxes, and sometimes they overpay. Unlike you can see an individual that just owns a little company, they dodge these things, they don't pay their taxes. As me, I can own a brand today, I can be any more, and I don't pay my taxes. Nobody will hold me accountable for it.
And most of those companies, they don't register with
They are not
CAC. They are not even registered. So how do they pay their tax? And that's one of the problem in Nigeria that is affecting our Nigerian economy. That's so
Yeah, we don't produce no
We're
tax.
going to go on a commercial break right now. See you shortly. Okay, welcome back, my lovely viewers. Hope you're still tuning into the station. Okay, what do you think corruption actually affects Nigeria economy?
Big time now. Embezzlement of funds. Really? Yes, it does. Like there are so many. We don't even need to start calling names, but definitely we know there are some persons in those offices that are embezzling funds. Like we heard of the issue of where snakes swallowed funds. Like
yeah.
Like
I heard that.
Got into like it's funny. It's funny, but that's so wrong because we take now we have legalized and normalized evil in our country. Right? We have legalized so many things that we are not supposed to normalize. Snake swallow fund, elephant swallow fund, monkey. It's funny, but it's appalling and it's not nice. I mean, these things also help in destroying our economy. Totally. Like it's and see our youth, for example. Our youth, they don't even have jobs. You get them? No jobs, unemployment everywhere. And I mean, we have so many talented people in this country. I mean, in our school system now, we have petroleum and production engineers. What do they use them for? You see them driving keke maruwa on the road. They don't have good, like it's funny. And even our academic system itself, what they teach them, they mostly do the theoretical aspect. They don't teach them practical. So most of these graduates, they come out, they can't even do anything. You get it? So there are so many things that you can just keep naming them on and on and on that affects our economy, like individually on different levels. There are so many things that affect the Nigerian economy presently in this nation. Okay.
Speaking of corruption, it's sadly, it's heartbreaking. I don't even know, there's no word for it. When I hear these things, it makes me stutter sometimes. Because coming back to that issue of goats, elephants,
snakes
swallowing funds, I don't know what we're doing this week. I don't know I don't know what's going on in that CBN governor, the chairman, I don't know.
And the National Assembly.
They need to stop this thing. But one thing I know for sure is it's not just their problem. The grassroots, we sitting here, it's our problem.
Yes, of course.
Because these things, when it's cooperative, when it starts as small, there's minority, there's majority.
Yeah.
And at that point, they are the minority, isn't it? We are the majority because we are the ones who are the masses.
Yeah.
We are the people. And the fact that we cannot solve this problem in small natures, we have things like playing football. Playing football, there's corruption in football. As small as football, you can be playing football in Agegi, under the bridge, there's corruption. The people are lying to each other. The more we lie to ourselves as citizens, the more our leaders will lie to us. If we can change, they can change. Corruption is a major factor. There's corruption going everywhere. Offices, banks, police, NMPC, even the let's not go there. Because even if we have pastors, we have ministers, we have deaconesses preaching to us about the Bible and engaging in corrupt practices inside the church. They are looting funds, they collect funds, they say, okay, we're building a church today, we're paying this person's school fees, we're even coming to school fees. The churches that even have schools, their parishioners cannot even go to those schools. So there's corruption everywhere, and if us as the citizens can reduce the way we practice in such activities, the leaders might change. I'm talking about probability. I'm not sure that we will change because I'm not one of that myself. But I believe that if they see that we ourselves have changed, they will change also.
Yeah, sorry to cut you short there. You spoke about the police force also being a part of it. Let me relate to that police issue now to the NSAS issue. aside from the fact that okay, the youths are clamoring for their what's it called, the NSAS stuff that the SARS members, they harass them, they abuse them. There's something you don't also know about the harassing and abusing of these people. They collect their money. They can see a well-dressed gentleman on the road. That's also corruption and bribery on a little level. It's not even little, on a large scale, because they can just see a young guy. Now anybody they see actually they categorize them as Yahoo boys in quotes. You get dreads, you get me? They can see a young dressed looking good man in his car driving. They will stop you, they want to accept. Most times they might not even find anything in your phone. I heard of this case scenario where I heard of the story. I don't really know who the person is, but I heard of the story. A guy was driving, I think he was coming back from work or something, very late at night driving. They stopped him, and this guy has a white collar job, like he works in a very corporate system. He's well to do. They stopped him, they took his phone, like they wanted to access his phone, telling him to open his phone. The guy not knowing and thinking like, okay, this is the right thing to just cooperate and let them. They took his phone to their car and they sent in some pictures. Most of these SARS men now, they have these pictures of their. They send it into your phones just to like make you succumb to what they want you to do. They tell you to send them money. That's a bribery and corruption as if those are the things that also.
Sorry, Ms. Miller, you're trying to talk about intimidation, right?
Yeah.
So now let's go about terrorism. When we have something like the Boko Haram and the people that is affecting you understand that it's stopping people from doing their transportation, from food and all the rest. Those has affected our economy. So badly, so bad.
You know something now? I'm falling in love with this conversation. It's blowing my mind. It's my brain. We're coming to Boko Haram. We're talking about. Do you know how much this country? I don't know how.
We've lost in agriculture when it comes to planning.
Boko Haram has been since when? I'm talking like 2010, 2011.
It was so long.
Do you know how much we invest in the army to take care of these bandits and ludicrous? And up to today, they are still here. Nothing is being done. They are taking over different states. We have states in the north. These states in the north are states of agricultural producing states, and people are being chased away from their livelihood and support just because of these people. And it still boils down to insecurity. What is the government doing? What are they doing? How are they helping us? All they keep asking is for funds. And what do they do with these funds? When the army generals and the police, the IGP, the big men on top in different offices, the people with the ranks, when they get this money, what do they do? They share it. You hear things like, how can an inspector general be driving a Rolls Royce for heaven's sake? We have to be realistic. Do you know how much a Rolls Royce costs? At least $300,000 times 500. It's not possible now. How? So things like this, it scares me. You come to headsmen destroying life, destroying property, still on security.
I still have rights on top.
The police are not trying to save us in any way, and these guys are coming to post, float, and open their shoulders and tell us things like we're going to make a cap 2 million naira because they are the only ones. I don't understand, because they're the only ones. Is it a must that must purchase cattle? Is it a must that must eat goods? There's chicken, there's turkey, isn't there?
Yes.
In fact, we eat snakes.
Mr.
Sorry to cut you there now. Speaking about this disbursement of funds and how they exploit and extort this fund. See, in this our nation, this nation, they can be funny sometimes. Aside the fact that these are leaders, they exploit these funds, they take it for their personal use. They disburse funds for funny reasons. During the time we had, I think, the NSAS issue, or the fact that we have bad roads, there's a road linking from Ekoma down to Abuja. That's a major road. That's the road linking the north to the south, and you get that's a major. That road is, point as I'm speaking, that road is bad. There's nothing to write home about that. Like, there's serious traffic and chaos going on in that road. But you see them disbursing funds for funny things. Like, I don't understand. Don't these people see these things going on in this country? How can't they disburse the funds right? Like, these are the questions we need to be asking our leaders in this country right now, because they are disbursing our funds wrongly. They are not, as in the way they use our funds in this country is not just right at all. I mean, that's
I think
crazy.
you want your next NDC chairman to get to offend the National Assembly, right? What is offend on the station, right?
I mean, we are all actors right now in this country. We are all actors. If they all their acting for anything, just act. We have or that gorilla came from the sky and swallowed the phone. Like, it's just funny how we keep getting stories
funny, dramatic stories.
Exactly.
But I mean, we are actors. Not even this will send everybody because we need to keep. I mean, this is funny and crazy at the
Very
same time.
funny. Very, very.
COVID-19 too was
Yes.
affected the economy.
Lockdown.
Yeah.
Lockdown. Yes. Yes.
This is where
I can imagine.
though when issues like this arise in this country,
Yeah.
I'm very sure that these guys are sitting down somewhere watching TV and laughing, taking a bottle of rosé and feeling good because they are seeing an opportunity that this time is disease that swallowed money. They did not just put it, they did not just put it, they did not put it out like that, but you know that it's disease that they're saying that swallowed money. We have things, people, Dangote contributed about $1 billion or $1 million. Different politicians of Tedela did the same. We had at least, I wasn't obviously keeping account, I'm not in the federal ministry of what's it called. We had at least 3 billion naira in this country for COVID-19. Where were the hospitals? Where is the vaccine? Where was the treatment that was ready? If you go to the centers, COVID-19 centers where they were treating these people were never lying down with it.
No. You need to see some of the centers, especially one in Enugu. That one wasn't good.
Where did the money go to? It's unexplainable. I cannot even elaborate on this issue because it's annoying. You know, when you get some kind of scars and headache on your head when you think about these things, and you think about you are going to bring children into this country, we are going to reproduce. Are we not going to reproduce? And we are bringing people to suffer all the incapable and incompetent leaders.
What about the palliatives?
Yeah, exactly.
What about the
The
palliatives?
citizens have to start looting those palliatives. There's one funny thing
They
about
have to
that.
do something for
Yeah,
themselves.
there's one funny and striking thing about that palliative story because right now I think a lot of things do not add up. For the fact that these palliatives or these things were disbursed like months ago, then months like 3 to 4 months after, and the citizens started looting these palliatives. First of all, how did they know the warehouses where these palliatives were? If they were trying to, it was at that same point that the NSAS protest was going on. So they were just looking for tactical, different things to just like distract the citizens of the country to just focus on something else. And just these are so many things that they are just come and see $1. Market woman, you want to buy Komo Ubuli. That's our pumpkin leaf. Yeah, it's right. They'll tell you pumpkin leaf that was 15 naira today, they'll tell you it's 200 naira. You ask them, mama, or as the Beninese will say, iye, how much, how far this ugu leaf, or this pumpkin leaf, how come from 15 naira yesterday is now 5? They'll tell you, it's dollar. Everything in this country is dollar. It's funny how it's as though we are in a country that is being governed or ruled by the international. I don't understand how we can be in the country, but then we are being ruled by foreign forces. Honestly, or should I say foreign currencies?
We have to use the perfect word. Extra-mundane activities. Extra-mundane activities are being done in this country. That's the perfect word. Extra-mundane.
Small Bible, pen we used to write. 20 pen now is now 500 naira. Don't go and shoot yourself on the because it's not. They will tell you everything is dollar. Pure water you drink is dollar. Pure water. God, let me not even go there. Let's leave that discussion because if we keep on going, we keep on. There are so many areas that our country's economy has gone south.
Okay.
I mean, they are just. It's just too much.
Okay, yeah. Can you please tell us the solutions? Yes, we need the solutions now to
speaking of the agricultural sector I just spoke about, which is also a problem, we can actually improve on our agricultural sector. I mean, I think in our country, Nigeria, we started first of all with agriculture. Agriculture was like our first major source of income and stuff like that in this country before we moved to. I think we should also add that as well. That's why at first, earlier on, I spoke about diversification. We need to diversify. I mean, he spoke earlier that we need to move to the agricultural sector, the technological sector, to also help expand our economy as well. Because if you notice now in our country, see, agriculture is fun, so you see students going to school studying agriculture, they come and they can't even do anything with it. Because agriculture is funds. The manure, the fertilizer, the tractors, everything you use, it's funds. You need to get those things. Now, the owners of farms now are big men. Like, let me use Tubaba for example, like the popular musician Tubaba right now. I mean, he owns a farm right now and he's making good cash for it but he wasn't a broke person at first. He had the money, he had the funds. I mean, if there's a way we can, I mean, granting of loans as well. Granting of loans to business expensive.